Hello everyone, I hope you are doing well. My name is Christopher and welcome to my channel. And this is Vivian, my daughter. Say hello.
Hi.
Today we are having shrimp chow mein. Homemade shrimp chow mein.
Can't wait to eat it.
Freshly made. Yummy.
Okay, can I have the chili? Because I cannot eat anything without chili.
Okay.
We haven't done a mom and daughter mukbang in a while. Huh.
Yes. Actually, we did it like a month ago.
Me?
However, there was a technical error, so we had to delete the video.
Who? Who's we?
You and I. Oh, about a month, a little bit over a month ago, but that was a
Oh, the
technical
really
error.
good one. That was not a month ago. That was like
2 months.
3 months ago. But that was a really good video too. And then after that, traumatized, just never doing it again.
So hopefully this video will go through. That was a good video. That's before you graduate.
I know. A lot has happened since the last time we did our video, like the last successful upload. When was that? I just remember talking about my anxiety and I was freaking out about school, graduating and everything. Now I graduated and I am employed now as a therapist and things are much better for my mental health since the last time. So you guys have been through the roller coaster. Yeah. Alright, first bite. Let me get a shrimp. First bite. Mmm.
How is it?
Mmm. Really good.
You like the small noodle more than the big?
Dry, yes. I like small when it's dry noodles, but if it's like soup noodles, I like big egg soup noodles.
For me, I feel that the small noodle is less starchy when you make a chow mein, right? The other one is a little bit more too much, right? But most people that I know, American, they are more into big noodles because that's what they know from.
I mean, but look at how the portion. If you have small noodles, but you have a portion this big, does it matter if it's big or small? Wow, so good. This is my breakfast. I was going to eat earlier. So I was like, I'll just starve myself a little bit to eat this and not feel guilty after.
No big. I don't make chow mein all the time. And this one I make has a lot of vegetables. Bean sprout. I have carrots, leek. I don't know, you know what that is. That's a,
the green thing, right?
Yeah, that's the Asian vegetable. Yeah, that's the leek. L-E-E-K. I also bought cabbage, but I will make it later for tonight.
Really good. I think like chow mein is your, I don't know, like what's like the one dish everyone knows you for when it comes to parties and stuff. I was really good at making chow mein.
My specialty?
That's the word.
Chow mein and fried rice.
Can I have some more soy sauce?
Chow mein fried rice I'm good at. Because we make it soft.
Yeah.
And now I'm good at what you call it, spaghetti, right? Yeah, my husband Dennis, he's like, you got it, finally, after years of making spaghetti.
With fish sauce?
No, no fish sauce, Vivian.
Yours, a minute with fish sauce.
I don't make it with fish sauce. I don't even put any seasoning besides salt and a little bit.
My mom became Americanized.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the Asian way, when you make spaghetti, you put fish sauce in to like balance the sourness, right? I never understood that, but I did it, and I still do.
I think it's the sugar. The sugar is what balances a little bit of sugar.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me how you feel about finishing up school.
It felt great. There was a lot of times where I felt like I wasn't gonna make it. So much stress. The most stress I've ever been in my entire life was probably grad school. To the point where like my face broke out and a lot of pimples. Now I'm like a lot more clear. Still have it here and there, but not compared to like last time. That's another reason why I have not been on the camera. She's like, let's do a mukbang. I'm like, no.
Yeah, half of the face, right? Half of your face.
Half my face was like just completely pimpled out, and then the other half had a couple. But for me, growing up, I never broke out, like ever. And so that's how you know, like I was under immense stress, so much stress. And you know, lots of like sleepless nights, lots of anxiety, and just like everything was scary for me. It was a very dark time, and that's why my mom and dad want me to go back to get my doctorate. I'm like, I still have trauma from my master's. I don't see me going back to school anytime soon. So, but it's
5 years.
5 years? No.
You'll forget all your trauma in 5 years.
Well, if someone's gonna pay for me, then I'll do it. But maybe when I pay off my loans currently. But yeah, it feels nice that I like overcame that very dark time in my life, especially when the pandemic hit and I lacked childcare. And I remember I was doing a presentation when at home with my son when he decided to have like a full-on meltdown. So I was like carrying him while doing my presentation. I was sweating. It was like the scariest time. And then as soon as I finished with my part, I like turned off my camera, and thank God I'm in the profession where everyone is empathetic and like understanding, and they understood that I needed to just take care of my son at that time. Yeah, it was.
So they saw Jaden on your lap. You holding Jaden while you're doing the presentation?
Yeah, they saw him crying. He's like, I'm hungry. Because I thought my class started at like 12:10, and so usually Jaden has lunch at 12. So I thought, okay, we're gonna finish with this presentation first, and then, oh no, I don't remember actually. I think, no, okay, it was the opposite. So my class started at 12:10, and I thought, okay, she's not gonna call our group to present first. And so I was in the middle of like making Jaden spaghetti when they're like, okay, you guys, you're up, and I was like, oh shoot. So then I just did my presentation, and then, you know, while I was like, so I had to stop cooking. And then when I was doing my presentation, Jaden was hungry and crying. And so everyone saw me carrying him and trying to do my presentation. It was hard.
Wow.
It was hard, but the challenging parts were not like the school aspect. It was not about like learning or doing quizzes or writing papers. The school aspect was not hard.
Yeah, actually.
That was the easier one. But then the hard part was like managing, like, you know, taking care of Jaden during a pandemic while going to school at home. My internship, my supervisors were horrible at that internship. My first internship, supervisor was just horrible, unqualified to supervise. And so I had a lot of like challenges in those areas.
Your second year, the internship was much better.
It was amazing. My supervisor, she's at LCSW, whereas my previous supervisor was only an associate social worker, which is what I currently am. And I'm like, I am not qualified to supervise anyone. How is she? But so with my first year internship, my self-esteem was like to the ground. Like I remember developing treatment plans, developing like anything, right? And then my supervisor's like, you're doing this wrong, you're doing this wrong, you're doing this wrong. Like not looking at my strengths, not building me up, not telling me like, okay, I see what you're doing here. I want you to build on that. She was just like everything, like you're doing it wrong, you're doing it wrong. And so towards the end of that year, I was so scared to move into my second year internship because I had very low self-esteem, and I also questioned myself a lot, like, did I choose the wrong profession? Did I just get myself like $100,000 in debt for going into the wrong profession? And I was in a really dark like state of mind, and you know, when I came into my second year internship, I was just so nervous, like, what if she knows that like I'm not a good social worker? What if she knows that I'm really bad at creating treatment plans and I'm like really bad at this stuff? And then we had our supervisions, and you know, like, she saw what I did, and she was complimenting me. She's like, you're doing a great job. Like, I really like, you have clinical skills that I see you're building on, and you know, like, you're really good with engagement. You're really good with like assessing the client and meeting them where they're at, and just like building up my self-esteem. Like, my heart was like broken when I came into my second year internship, and my supervisor like glued all the pieces back together.
Wow.
She made me feel competent and right of the choices I made to be in this profession, and I am like forever thankful of her, and I'll always remember her, and I love her so much. And so yeah, I went through a lot, but I'm really glad that like I was able to meet her and just make like good friends as well.
Yes. Teacher, parents, those are the ones that either they can build you up or bring you down. And you're lucky to meet a good one.
I am so thankful because, I don't know, my first one really scared me. Like, she really made me feel like, you know, what are you doing here? And then when the pandemic hit, I was no longer able to work in schools. We all had to transition to home. And so all the supervisors everywhere was giving the interns like, you know, BS work to like fill the time. So she would give me like essays and watch movies on social work and write an essay about it. So I did that, and this is my only chance to like really show her like, okay, like, you know, I'm trying to do whatever I can. And so I put so much work into like fulfilling these BS work that she didn't even read herself. She didn't care to read or respond to, but I did it anyways just to show her like, you know, I'm trying. And then she had the audacity to tell my teacher that like, oh, anyone can write a piece of paper. It takes more to be a social worker. And so she was on the verge of failing me, but my teacher was telling her like, you know, we are in a pandemic. Like, let's remind you that we're in a pandemic. There's limited things that Vivian can do at this moment. Is she doing what you're asking her to do?
Right.
And my supervisor's like, yeah, but like I said, there's more to it to be a supervisor, or to be a social worker. And she's like, I don't feel comfortable passing Vivian and then her becoming a social worker next year. And that's when my teacher was like, you know, she has another year of school, right? Are you aware that this is her first year? And that's when my supervisor said, oh, I didn't know that. Okay, in that case, she has another year to learn.
Wow.
So my supervisor did not even know like my academic standing. She didn't know that I was a first year intern. She thought that I was in this other route where so for second year interns, you have to, especially doing like the school route that I wanted to get into, you have to go to 2 separate schools, 2 different grade ranges, right? She thought I was doing that, but I was a first year intern. And so she was having me on 2 days. Okay, sorry, I'm not making sense. But for a second year interns, you're interning for 2.5 days. For first year interns, you're interning 2 days out of the week. So since she thought I was a second year intern, she was having me drive to 5 different school sites. And I was constantly late because like I'm here, and then I had to like rush to my other internship, and then I didn't have any time to do notes or anything. And then she would be mad at me like, oh, you're not like doing what you're supposed to be doing. And then turns out she thought that I was like, you know, I don't know, a second year intern. So, and then I also talked to the other intern girl. She was doing only two school sites, whereas I had 5. And she had like a whole client list of maybe 5 or 6 total. Mine, I had like 15 groups that I was working on, plus like 9 individual clients. So yeah, and this was their first year conducting internships at the site, so they were lost. Yeah.
Well, that nightmare is over. So
Yeah.
just be happy that you already passed that stage. Now just focus on working. So I mean, eat your food, and then we'll talk a little bit more. I'm just hoping that she's not seeing this. Well, we're not named we're not naming nobody, so it doesn't matter, right? Like, you know, in life, if you treat people well, then you will be treated well. And if you create hell to others, then you will be, I believe that you will solve what is that? Reap, right? You will reap what you sow. Something like that.
Reap what you sow?
Yeah. So it's like a karma. And maybe someone is not in their good state of mind, not happy where they are, so they just create more hell to others.
I know.
Some people are like that.
And that's just not fair. Like, just because you're in a supervisor position, you have the opportunity to build other people up, not break them down.
Right. Right.
You know?
That's what most supervisors are supposed to do that, but not everyone do that. Sometimes they forget where they are, and sometimes they just treat you like a number. You know, and their bad environment or they're not so happy state of mind can affect you. So unfortunately, that happens. Now you pass that stage, and when you one day when you become a supervisor, maybe you remember what it's like what it's like to have a good supervisor, what it's like to have someone who created you so much trauma, and, you know, things like that. So just live and learn.
Yeah, so I recently got employed this month. I graduated last month, so I feel so blessed. Like I did it.
No, last month. This is July. July 1st.
I graduated in May, and I started working, or I technically got a job offer at the end of May, and then I started working officially on the 2nd of June. And so I just feel so blessed that, like, you know, I didn't give up. I was resilient and, like, overcame a lot of barriers that I faced during this time. And now I'm in this position that I love so much. The supervisors are amazing. I have 3 in total, and they're very, like, supportive.
Why 3 supervisors?
Okay, so one supervisor, she's like the main top supervisor. She supervises my other 2 supervisors. The other supervisor, she supervises the MST program, which is my specific department. And then the other supervisor supervises like DMH documentation, because there's a lot of things to do with that. And this is all new to me. I don't know what to do, but they're there to support me, and I feel very supported already. So I'm just thankful to like have this amazing position right off the bat, because I've heard horror stories of people like working in a job that, you know, made them feel burnt out the first year, and they had really high caseloads, and, you know, they didn't really get to like have a good therapeutic relationship with their clients, because they were just another number, you know. Like, they had to just meet their quota of like meeting with the clients and all that stuff. Whereas in my position, it's more intensive, which means I meet with my clients and their parents more frequently each week, at least like 2 times a week. I can also provide support by going to court hearings, because I work with clients on probation, so I could provide support by going to court hearings and, you know, like all that stuff. And because it's more intensive, there's less caseload, so it ranges from 6 to 9 because of COVID, but typically it's like around 6 clients.
What do you mean 6? You only have 6? That's it? No more?
A caseload of 6.
That's all?
But right now it's 9. I don't have any yet. I only have 1 so far, but they said it could go up to 9.
That's so little.
Because it's intensive. We're providing more like hands-on support. We're frequently in contact. So I just feel really glad, because like that's why I didn't like feeling like, you know, I'm just calling because I have to like call and check in. I want to actually build relationships with my clients, and you know, be able to like support them through this time and help them get off of probation.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
I like that. Having that field caseload. You know, for people that work for children's services, I believe they have hundreds of caseload. Well, they're different because their position is different than yours. They don't provide therapy. No therapy.
I think that's the difference.
Yeah, just caseload, just that's all. But Yeah, that can burn you out, right?
Oh,
So
yeah.
much, you don't have a relationship with people.
They're
With your
just like a
clients.
number. I mean, everyone's different. Maybe some people prefer helping more people at once. That's great too. Me personally, I would like to have more smaller caseload, provide therapy, and really get to know the families I work with. I did see the position open through the LA County for the children's social worker too. I didn't apply for it because it seems like a case management role.
It
And
is. Okay.
I didn't want to do that.
You want to be therapist and more.
That's my goal, to be a therapist.
I don't know if the county has therapy. I
They
think
do.
They do.
Psychiatric social worker, you're
Oh, that's
providing
what it is.
therapy,
That's
psycho
what it is.
assessments, and everything.
Are you qualified for psychiatry?
And now I am because I have my ASW, which is I am officially an associate clinical social worker. So that means the Board of Behavioral Sciences approved me to provide therapy. I can mail out to Medi-Cal. I can now start accruing hours towards my license to become a licensed clinical social worker. Yeah. I can't believe I did it.
You say in 3 years you get your
2 to 3, depending on how fast I can start. That's something that I am planning to talk to my supervisor about. But they're really, all my supervisors were congratulating me for getting my number because the day I got assigned a client, I got my number. And they're like, what the heck, you were so lucky. Everything came in perfect timing. For me, like, before I felt like my world was upside down when I was in grad school, but literally soon after grad school, everything fell into place. And I feel like it was just my resiliency and not giving up. I mean, I couldn't even if I wanted to. Like, I couldn't give up because I'm in debt.
But
Like,
Vivian, do you also believe that prayer has helped you?
I mean, yeah, during that time where I was like in a really dark place, I asked my mom to pray for me and she did, and that brought me comfort, but I was still going through hell. I was still going through it. Like, I was not, like, but I'm in a better place now. I don't have to worry about, like, papers and essays. I have to worry about documentation, but it's not as bad as, like, doing a quiz, taking an exam. I mean, I still do for my license, but it's not that bad.
So for people who are interested in social work, what do you suggest they should do? Go for a master's to become a therapist, or what route should be? It's worth it, right? The time. I mean, you spend extra 3 years.
Yeah, typically 2. I mean, depending on the program that you take. But if you want to be a social worker, definitely go for your master's. If you're interested in providing therapy or even filling in like higher positions, like being supervisors and all that stuff, if you just go for your bachelor's, you're kind of capped out a little bit, and your salary, I don't know the specific numbers.
60,000. 50, 60.
And it's harder to get like supervisor roles down the line if you want to expand your career. And you can't provide therapy if you only have your bachelor's. It's mainly case management positions and lots of paperwork, which is something that I do not want to do. Even with my master's, I have to do paperwork, but that's not my only role, you know?
Right.
So I highly suggest getting your master's if you're interested in pursuing this route, because it just opens so many more doors for you. You can either go the clinical route by providing therapy, or you could go the more like, I don't know, like business route even, you know? You can be supervisors. There's like a whole, it's called SKY, and I know USC has it, but it's like social workers in a business setting. And there's just like so many different avenues that you could venture into with your master's. And what I like about it is, even though I concentrate in children, youth, and families, a lot of the things that I learned in school can help, like, is pretty, like, I can move around, you know, even though I focus on children, youth, families, I could work with military families, I could work with older adults, you know, with psychiatric problems, or I could even work in a business setting if I wanted to, you know? So I like social work because it's very diverse and, you know, yeah.
And one more thing is Vivian passed her CBEST exam.
Oh my God.
First try. CBEST, what does it stand for? Do you remember? California?
I don't even know.
So that exam is for
People that want to work in schools. Okay, so That exam is so that I can get my pupil personnel credential to work in schools as a school social worker. I don't know if teachers need to get it because their whole thing, yeah, teachers, okay, yeah, teachers too. So I guess just anybody who wants to work in school. And I guess like for me, after I technically graduated from my master's, I felt like I still didn't really graduate because I had this lingering in the back of my mind, like I need to pass this damn exam, like I need to do it ASAP. And so, you know, I couldn't fully like enjoy my graduation party or anything because that was just in the back of my mind, like you're not done yet. And so leading up to my test, I was still like, I was still so stressed. Like I would stay up till, so my son wakes up super early. I would take him to his daycare by like 9. So from 9 till 5, I was studying for my exam. And then I would be with my son, put him to sleep. So, and then afterwards from 10 till 3 in the morning, I was studying for my exam. And I did that for a whole week straight. And I was super stressed out. And during the exam, I felt like I didn't pass. And I was worried. And I told myself, if I don't pass this, I'm not going to go back. I don't care. I don't care if I don't work in schools. I'm over it. Like, I'm over school. I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I studied up for a whole week straight studying for this. And if I didn't pass, how am I going to have a chance to do this when I'm working? So I was ready to just give up. So I walked out, got my results, and I saw, like, I passed. And I was like, excuse me, sir? What does this mean? And he's like, you passed. Good job. And I was like, what? And I called my friends, and I was like, you guys, I passed. I don't know how I did that, but I did, so what the heck. But then there was also a writing portion where an actual person had to grade me. And so I didn't know about those results until like a week later. But I felt confident that I didn't pass the writing portion because when I finally went to the writing portion, I only had like 45 minutes left to do 2 essays. And so the first essay, it was like 5 paragraphs. I had transitioning sentences. I had like a conclusion and everything. And then for my last paragraph, it was just like 1 paragraph. And I was like, there's no way they're going to pass me. And if they do, I don't know, they might be on drugs. I'm not going to lie. But so I didn't feel confident. But the fact that I passed my English and my writing, my English and my math, I was like, it's fine if I redo my writing because I can write. I just didn't have the time to write. A week later, results came in, I passed my writing. And I was like, what the heck is this? Like, everything for me is finally working out for me when it hasn't been the case for so long. And so,
such a good feeling here. Cheers to the success and many more.
Yeah. Yeah, because things usually don't work out in my favor. Like, I usually have to do a lot of stuff, but
I mean, you've been through a lot, so
life is like, you know what?
They want to give you a break.
Yeah, we're going to give you a break, so get ready for the future.
God give you a break. The universe give you a break. And it's time just to...
Like, all my hard work is finally paying off. I'm finally working. I can finally support myself and my son. And, you know, I'm finally in this new season of my life. Yeah.
Well, this is the beginning of July, which is July 1st. And in about 2 weeks, Vivian is moving out with Jaden and Charlie. This house, I told my sister yesterday, I don't know how I feel after you guys all move out.
You're gonna be sad.
I don't feel it as of yet. Yeah, you know, it's not happening. But I know one day when I come home and it's like so empty and everything is clear out, I would feel something then.
I'm pretty sure you will.
Right. But it's a good change. Change is good because everybody's moving up. And for that's why I want to have a lunch today. So I don't know when's the next time we will have luncheon. Hopefully right before you leave the house, they have another mukbang. Yeah, maybe. But yeah, for me, I'm thankful. I'm thankful that first of all that our family, we all did our vaccine, Pfizer. Everything went well. The only person hasn't got it is Jaden. He's only
My
6.
son.
Yeah, he's only 6. So hopefully by the end of this year, they will allow our children to get their vaccine.
I'm gonna wait a little bit to see how the other kids do.
Yeah, that's fine.
He won't be the first.
Right. So, but right now, health-wise, we are good. And let's see, Vivian moving out, and I'm still home. I'm waiting. Dennis and I, my husband and I, have been waiting to go back to Vietnam. But in the last couple months, since beginning of May, Vietnam has had a lot of coronavirus cases, and the country is locked down pretty much, no one in or out. But in the last couple weeks, they start having vaccines, just recently getting the vaccines. We're hoping in 3 months, the country will be 70% at least vaccinated, so they can reopen. We cannot wait to go back to Vietnam because, first of all, my mom, your grandmother, is getting much older, and we want to be there for her, spend time with her as much as we can, you know, and make her happy. That's what I'm hoping for. And hopefully by the end of the year, we'll be able to do that. In the meantime, just here, and I haven't done my cooking, but I'm going back to doing cooking once you can leave, you know, the room, the house more empty, and I'll rearrange the kitchen and do some cooking. I want to focus on my cooking channel and, you know, continue doing what I love most, is writing.
I'll come over to get your food.
Yes, sure, sometimes. We're not that far away at this point, just 15-20 minutes drive. So is there anything else you want to share with your viewers before we go?
I hope you guys enjoyed. It was nice catching up. I know the last time I was in a very different state of mind. But I'm glad that you guys were a part of this journey and, you know, saw me overcome probably the worst parts in my life. And now I'm here in a much happier place. And yeah, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for the both of us. And I hope that, you know, we can continue to bring you along in that journey.
Thank you. Thank you everyone for listening to our stories and watching our
trauma.
Yes, this is our life story, right? True life story. And we hope to inspire you in some way. You know, wherever you are, whatever situation you have, just have hope and keep praying and reach out for help. And future will be better. Future will be bright. I just remember that after a long, dark night, the sun never fails to rise. Remember that. Take care, and oh, don't forget to smash the like button, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye now.